The artwork was stolen in Palm Springs, and now an HOA is offering big bucks to get it back.
And temperatures warming up into the weekend. Well, more on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs 11 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
We're going to do what we can to mitigate this effect, but it's going to be terrible.
Local Congressman Raul Ruiz fears that thousands could lose access to health coverage here in the Coachella Valley from the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Mark Mester. Dr. Ruiz held a roundtable with local health professionals tonight to discuss solutions. That's tonight's top story. We have some video from tonight's meeting. That's what you're looking at tonight. It was held in Palm Desert. Ruiz told us the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, which Democrats are calling the Big Ugly Law, will lead to 17 million people nationwide losing their health coverage, cuts to Medicaid, and it will increase premiums by $2,200. Here's more tonight from the local congressman.
Everybody's commitment to communicate with each other, to coordinate with each other, and to share resources, including information, casework, possible transportation, so that we put the emphasis not in the institution, but the emphasis in the people.
Tonight's meeting was in collaboration with several healthcare agencies, including the Desert Healthcare District and the Desert AIDS Project. And we have continuing coverage on the opposite side of the aisle. Those in favor of the bill, like local Congressman Ken Calvert from the 41st District, had this to say about its impacts on health care across the Coachella Valley. Here's part of that statement, saying, in quote, "Our bill strengthens Medicaid and it protects it for those who the program was designed to help, the disabled, children, mothers, and seniors. Most of the so-called cuts to Medicaid are actually new work requirements that are being put in place for able-bodied working-age adults without children," end quote. Nurses at Desert Regional Medical Center will picket tomorrow morning. Union members say the protest is over patient care. It's part of a coordinated effort involving nurses from 5 other Tenet Health hospitals, where members allege management failed to ensure safe staffing levels and adequate training for nurses. It's set to start tomorrow morning, 5:30. It'll go until 8:30. We've reached out to Desert Regional Medical Center for comment, and they said the following, quote, "We are currently involved in bargaining with the union and will continue to negotiate in good faith in hopes of reaching a successful contract. Our focus is on providing high-quality health care to our community and a positive work environment for our employees," end quote. All right, let's take a break from the headlines. Check on the forecast. Live look right there from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above Rancho Mirage. Seems so often, Chloe, that we see the shaking from that camera.
Right?
Dealing with a little bit of wind gusts right now, right?
Yeah, I know. I feel like every time we look at that cam, it's just shaking. What's going on? But yeah, wind gusts as we get into the evening hours has been pretty consistent for us. That's not going to be changing much this week. But we got some beautiful views this evening, so there's that. This was sent in by Carl and Pamela, right? The Brady's sent this in. Thank you for getting this picture. I'm curious where this was. I wasn't seeing like a lot of cloud cover up there, so you have to tell me, the Brady's, where you got this, because this is a beautiful look at the sunset sky. You got the mountains there in the background, so always an incredible job. Let me know so I can give the destination of this postcard here. But yes, as far as what's going on across Southern California, something that we have been talking about the last couple of days is, of course, that tsunami that was caused by that 8.8 magnitude earthquake just off the Russia peninsula there. Well, happy to report all tsunami advisories have now been canceled, so that is good news. That being said, if you were planning on going to the ocean, just keep in mind there is going to be some enhanced currents still for the next couple of days. So something to keep in mind, but that's good news as far as the tsunami advisories go. Outside right now, yeah, it's still pretty warm there in Palm Springs. Beautiful conditions in the evening hours once that sun goes down. Onshore flow with us this evening, a little bit gusty, as we mentioned, Mark, looking at that live cam, 23-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Palm Springs. That'll be something that we're tracking as we get to the afternoon and evening hours. Those winds picking up. Bridge of high pressure over us for the remainder of the weekend into the weekend, and causing those temperatures to rise a little bit each and every day as we get into the weekend. Here's a look at your updated 3-day forecast. 110 for our Thursday. Temperatures continue to warm into the weekend, going above 110, and that's going to be the case for the next few days. We'll break down more you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, Chloe, thank you for that. We'll hear from you in just a little bit. Tonight, a homeowners association in Palm Springs is offering a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to the safe return of their stolen Roadrunner statue. Our Brett Rosen tonight has the story.
It's like something out of a cartoon, except the Roadrunner didn't run away. It was actually stolen outside the gates of Asina, a neighborhood on Vista Chino in Palm Springs. It's been missing for almost 2 years now, and it was a part of a collection of other desert animal statues. However, with the recent death of the original artist, HOA Vice President Tim Mathias says the statue has now become irreplaceable.
I mean, I suppose we could have something made by a different artist or commission something differently, but this was part of a suite, a collection, and so we were hoping to have the original artist do it. We did contact the studio, we reached out, and so we were hopeful that that they might do it for us, but we never heard back from them.
Now right here is what's left of the Roadrunner that went missing over a year ago. Just a couple staging lights and a post of where it once lied. And when speaking to homeowners here at Asina, they tell me that it wasn't just a piece of art that was stolen from them. It was a piece of the community.
There's a vacancy there. It's gone, and it also breaks up the balance of the artwork that was here. And the statues were also very enticing to be able to buy in this community.
The Homeowners Association is offering $10,000 for information that will lead to the safe return of the art piece, a price Asina homeowner Audrey Joseph says is pennies on the dollar. Do you think that statue is worth the $10,000 reward?
I think it's worth more than $10,000. First of all, you couldn't recreate the statue in the same way as the artist is now passed away. If you try to get someone to try and recreate it based on a photo, then it would probably cost 30 grand.
Tim Mathias says anyone with tips on the missing statue can do so anonymously. He says the HOA are not the police. They just want the safe return of their art piece.
I've already said, we're not asking any questions. We're not out to prosecute anybody. We just want the statue back.
That was our Brett Rosen reporting for us this evening. We thank Brett for that. Coming up next tonight, we have more local news for you. Tomorrow marks 34 years after a bus filled with Girl Scout members crashed in Palm Springs. We take a look back at the tragedy. That's next. Also, the Federal Reserve makes a decision on interest rates. Tonight, what financial experts say you can do to increase that savings account. But first, we have a live look from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11 o'clock on this Wednesday night, and we're back right after this.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. NBC Palm Springs News. Even astronauts tune in for their news fix. When it comes to top stories, we're on a whole new orbit.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11.
The Coachella Valley Animal Campus has an announcement. Their trap, neuter, return cat clinics are moving from Fridays to Tuesdays. Starts August 5th. Cats must be brought in humane traps. Only one cat is allowed per trap, and a maximum of 2 cats are permitted per trapper. Drop-off is at 7:30 in the morning with expected pickup around 3 to 4 in the afternoon. There will be no TNR day this week as the transition takes effect. So imagine driving a large vehicle full of children down the steepest road you can imagine and suddenly discover you have no brakes. That exact scenario playing out 34 years ago tomorrow in Palm Springs. Tonight, our historian Steve Sumrall takes a look back in this edition of Desert in a Minute.
It was a Wednesday, July 31st, 1991. Emergency services received the call just after 3 p.m.
We have a disaster. We need to go into code triage immediately. There's been a bus crash, and we have multiple injuries and fatalities.
On that chartered school bus were members of a Girl Scout troop from Pomona, as well as their chaperones. When returning from the Palm Springs aerial tramway, the bus experienced brake failure.
It was almost like being in a movie. You know, we were moving, and I knew that we were moving, but I heard nothing. I didn't hear talking. I didn't hear screaming. All I heard were the brakes were out. Brace yourselves. And then
the vehicle skidded 400 feet and overturned. It then careened off of Tramway Road and tumbled down an embankment. 7 lives were lost that day, including the bus drivers. The rescue effort was valley-wide.
We were able to call in mutual aid resources from Cathedral City, Palm Springs, Springs Ambulance.
3 medevac helicopters were flown in. Chaplains and psychologists were brought in to comfort the injured. Also on hand to ease the suffering was Palm Springs Mayor Sonny Bono.
That's all they wanted to hear, is that they're going to be okay. Some were concerned, would ask for other names and ask, are they okay? Ask for their friends, obviously, and I would just say, yeah, they're okay.
The Girl Scouts were taken to Desert Regional, Eisenhower, and John F. Kennedy hospitals. On the 25th anniversary of this tragic event, members of the Desert Regional Medical Team reflected on their experience.
Those were probably some of the hardest times, I'm sure, for some of the people who took care of these patients, because they had their contact and their relationships with them grew because they had longer periods of contact with them.
It's obviously left a lasting memory with all of us. Not only professional relationships, but friendships. I've been invited to a wedding. I went to the wedding. I've been kept up to date on childbirth and things.
Steve Sumrall, NBC Palm Springs.
In some consumer news this evening, the Federal Reserve will not lower interest rates. That decision was announced today. However, many banks will offer higher annual percentage yields on savings accounts. Here's Jen Sullivan.
Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced they're keeping interest rates between 4.25 and 4.5%.
Recent indicators suggest that growth of economic activity has moderated.
This means it will continue to cost consumers more to borrow money for things like a mortgage, car payments, even credit card debt. But there is some good news. When interest rates are high, many banks will offer higher annual percentage yields on savings accounts, which means you can grow your money faster.
It's not a bad time to be putting your money towards investments to let it grow.
Bankrate financial analyst Stephen Cates says now is a good time to look into high-yield savings accounts and certificate of deposit accounts known as CDs. Basic savings accounts have an average annual percentage yield of 0.56%, but a high-yield savings account can pay upwards of 4% annually. The higher the rate, the more interest you'll earn on your savings. This Bankrate graph shows how much a top-yield savings account outpaces the average savings rate. So let's crunch the numbers into this bank rate calculator. If you move $5,000 into a high-yield savings account and contribute $200 a month over a 5-year period with an annual percentage yield of 4.25%, in 5 years, you'll have made nearly $2,500 in interest.
You're getting a really healthy yield compared to where we were over the last, 15 years.
Beware that the bank can change the percent of interest you earn. In a CD, the rate is typically fixed for a specific period of time. In both types of accounts, there may be restrictions on how much and when you can withdraw those funds. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, tonight we're giving you a live look from our Agua Caliente casino camera from downtown Palm Springs. Chloe's back with us tonight. We're so happy because you're here tracking the weather, right, Chloe?
I am, yes. Celebrated my husband's 30th, and I am now back tracking that rainfall that's, not coming to Southern California. Dry conditions for us. We'll break down what we can expect after the break. Stay with us.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. NBC Palm Springs News. Even astronauts tune in for their news fix. When it comes to top stories, we're on a whole new orbit.
All right, on this Wednesday night, we're giving you a live look from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera showing the river there in Rancho Mirage. Chloe's back with us and talking about the forecast. It's definitely hotter, but we're not at those teen levels, those 1 teens, so I think we can take it, right?
Yeah, we can handle it. Those 1 teens were like 119, 118, 117. Those are in the past, all right? Those were weeks ago. Now we're just 112. That's cold compared to 119. So, yes, but still going to be seeing a warm up this week. 108 for the high today. So we were right around seasonal for us in late July. Final days of July. Keep that in mind. August is this Friday, which is unbelievable. The summer is just flying by. 118 is the record-breaking number from 1957. Does anyone remember that? 77 right now up in Yucca Valley. We are high 80s at this hour. Overnight tonight will be in the 70s. As far as surface moisture, very dry conditions for us here on the desert floor. So we desperately need some rain in Southern California. Not forecasting anytime soon, rain anytime soon. So we will continue to stay dry here at that 5%, barely any relative humidity at all. As far as future wind potential, this has been pretty consistent for us the last few weeks. I feel like I've talked about this almost every day as we get into the afternoon and evening hours for those wind-prone areas. Desert Hot Springs, the wind corridor there, the 10 going up to the 62 up to Morongo. Those winds will pick up 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Those gusts will be in the 30s, isolated areas in the 40s. So if you're traveling in the evening near those areas, just keep that in mind, that the winds will pick up as you are commuting home from work. Breezy for us here mostly, though, on the desert floor up in the high desert for Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree. We'll call it breezy as well. As far as Friday, so we talked about that. Why we're seeing those warm temperatures, that ridge of high pressure center is just to the south of us, so that onshore flow will stay with us. Breezy conditions for our Friday. Temperatures rising a little bit, so we'll be under clear skies. No surprise there. Dry conditions for us, but temperatures are ramping up a little bit for our Friday. We got some showers to the east of us, that monsoon moisture for Arizona. Dry, nothing, no rain for us here in Southern California. So keep that in mind with your weekend plans. As Mark mentioned, we're not getting to the 119s, 118s. Nevertheless, it is still going to be above 110 degrees this weekend, so keep that in mind with your plans. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. 110 for our Thursday, 112. Wish I could say we're going to see cooler conditions next week, but check it out. We are still 112 on Wednesday, next Wednesday.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Baby.
NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos. We have your game.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caitlin Kelly. Tim O'Brien has the night off. Well, after representing the desert on the national stage in Irvine, La Quinta AYSO Soccer is back home and already looking ahead. With the new season fast approaching, the league says it needs more help than ever before. From coaching to concessions, the push is on to find volunteers who are ready to keep our local soccer programs thriving.
My name is Tom Reed. I'm a coach administrator, coach instructor for AYSO La Quinta. Some of our teams actually made it to nationals this year out in Irvine for AYSO nationals, and it was an absolutely amazing experience for the kids and the coaches and the referees, really for everybody. Some of our teams did really well at nationals. They won so many games. They gained valuable experience. They got to play and have a good time. Sometimes they don't even remember the games. They mostly just remember the experience. And it's such a rewarding thing for so many teams in not just Southern California, but all over the U.S. We're already getting a lot of signups and registrations here in La Quinta and in Indio and Palm Springs and Cathedral City and Desert Hot Springs, and we're really looking forward to a great fall season. Registrations have really gone up. Every year, we're always looking for more volunteers. Every year, we seem to have less at the beginning of the season, and we're always looking for more coaches, referees, somebody to work the snack bar, somebody to help out with the uniforms, and there seems to be, since COVID, a lack of volunteerism. And we really do need that for all of our leagues, all of our sports to thrive throughout the Valley. So we're looking for volunteers now for La Quinta AYSO, also in Indio, Cathedral City, Palm Springs, and Desert Hot Springs. We're always looking to recruit and train coaches. We are right now doing registration and signups and getting coaches trained and background and certified. We do in online trainings. We also do in-person trainings, and the time is now. We need coaches now.
If you're interested in volunteering, simply email the address shown at the bottom of your screen. And as Tom said, no previous experience is required. Now, before I let you go, I want to mention that last year, 3 teams had to be cut because there weren't enough volunteers. And the coaches that were there had to coach 3 teams apiece. So now's the time to step up and make sure our young athletes get to continue on the pitch this fall. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
What are the best movies of the year so far? Here's Manny the Movie Guy.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Superman and the Fantastic Four First Steps revived the superhero genre and made us believe in men and women in tights and capes again. Both are still in theaters and not to be missed. In the animated genre, Disney Pixar's Elio, still in theaters, explores loneliness, while The Smart, The Colors Within imbues people's emotions with colors. You can rent it online now, and the super fun sci-fi musical adventure K-pop Demon Hunters can be streamed on Netflix. Also on Netflix in the Best Drama category, there's Nonas. Veteran actresses compliment Vince Vaughn in this true-life drama about a man with a dream. And on Hulu, check out A Nice Indian Boy. It's a nice, actually great rom-com about cultures clashing amidst love. I also enjoyed My Dead Friend Zoe, and you can rent it online. It's about friendship and self-identity. And then there's The Life of Chuck, a dramatic feature with a fantasy twist. From Stephen King, this one's about the life of Chuck, played by Tom Hiddleston, told in reverse chronological order. There's a lot of exciting movies in the action genre, like F1 the movie. It's still in theaters. Catch the stunning visuals on the big screen. And then there's our action star, Tom Cruise, in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The film's spectacle and well-crafted action scenes are definitely worth your time and money. You can now buy this film online. And on Amazon Prime, catch the funny and exciting Deep Cover. Orlando Bloom, Nick Mohammed, and Bryce Dallas Howard play improv actors who become undercover agents.
So you're big timers.
In the thrillers category, stream Companion on HBO Max. AI companions are explored in this dark and funny psychological thriller. Dangerous Animals terrifyingly combines serial killers and sharks. You can buy this online as well. And on Peacock, there's Black Bag. Steven Soderbergh directs this spy thriller featuring the powerhouse duo of Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett. Also on Peacock, check out Drop. This thrill ride has intriguing twists and turns that will keep you guessing. And finally, in the horror category, let's not forget Sinners, now out on HBO Max. Where else can you see a movie where music, vampires, and racism are intertwined into a thought-provoking way? Michael B. Jordan is great in dual roles with captivating direction from Ryan Coogler. Watch Sinners get some love at next year's Oscars. I'm Manny the Movie Guy for NBC Palm Springs.
All right, finally tonight, are you looking for a new deodorant? There is a new sustainable option. Listen to this. This is a collab from DuraDry and Coors Light. Yes, the beer company, the brand. So it's already sold out. That's how popular it is.
What?
The deodorant is called, ready for this, DuraChill. It's not made with beer. So that's a good thing, I would say. And no, it doesn't smell like beer either. The scent is described as Rocky Mountain Breeze. The deodorant stick is, however, cold activated to keep you chill, so it needs to be refrigerated. DuraChill deodorant sold exclusively on the Coors Light website. If it's in the refrigerator, maybe separate it from the silver bullet,
food.
right?
Yes, and if it's a Rocky Mountain scent, I can understand. It's a good scent from Colorado.
From Colorado, so
yes,
we thought
I
you would
can
enjoy
recognize that.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We're back here tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Good night.